Today I'm going to interview someone who is a fitness and health influencer, an entrepreneur and a student of medicine. His name is Italo Costa and he's from Sao Paulo, Brazil. I've asked him questions about his diet, his training, about his lifestyle and just what he does to keep that amazing shape. Some of the information he provided were really surprising to me as his approach is rather unique and unconventional. Please be aware that this approach works for him, but may not necessarily work for you. Now, without further ado, let's jump into the interview. All right, Italo, welcome to
Hey,
Stronger
man.
Than Yesterday. How's it going?
Oh, thank you. I'm going great. It's an honor to be here.
I see it's going great. You're on a bike right now, on a stationary
Oh,
bike.
yeah. I just, it's good to blood flow, the creativity. It's really good if you are in a zone 2 cardio, like 70% of your maximum BPM. You'll be having some benefits of BDNF, for example, brain neurotrophic factor. It'll be good for creativity.
Coming
You'll
with the
be
facts.
a
Coming straight away
little
with
bit
the facts.
sharp,
Awesome.
So it's a good practice to, talk a little bit.
Yeah, awesome.
Do a meeting.
Absolutely.
To have another ideas.
Phone calls.
Yeah.
Yeah. I usually do that.
It is.
I go out, I listen to podcasts or I do calls or whatever. It's awesome. Dude, I don't know whether you remember. We met about 4 years ago in Sao Paulo. We went to the gym. I still have some pictures when we were flexing. Good times, good times. For those who don't know you, can you maybe introduce yourself? Who are you and what do you do?
Of course. Okay, so I'm Italo Costa. I am an entrepreneur, an influencer. I have Army BR, the clothing brand. I'm also an athlete, and I'm in medical school now.
So quite the busy guy.
Well, I try to do what I can.
Tell me, how does a typical day in your life look like? I mean, you work out, you study, you produce content, you do so many things. You like manage your businesses. How does a day look like?
Yeah, so it's really flexible because it really depends. But what I like to do is always look to perform better. So for that, you have to, get everything organized. I like to start my day with a fasted cardio training as well, if possible. If not, the training will be like noon, lunchtime, or even at the night. It depends on the day and what you need to do. So the schedule is kind of really flexible, but to do everything that I need, like to study, to participate to meetings, to do everything right, content will be along the way, so will depend a lot. So I do fasting. You have one last thing to think about. I don't think about food. I only think about
Until what time?
performing.
Until what time do you fast?
I do one meal a day, the OMAD.
Oh wow!
So I'm practically being fasted for 22 to 26 hours, and I'll be eating like I'll be feasting. I can say I'll be feasting, really feasting, because it's I'm gonna eat everything that I need in 2 hours.
So what does that look like? It must be like 4,500 calories all in one meal, probably.
Yeah, it will be. So my daily expenditure will be between 3,500 to 4,500 a day, and that will vary because I'm not doing diet nowadays. I'm just feeling. What can I say? I usually I'm going to eat well, like oh, you're gonna look everything I will eat and say, okay, this is only good food for 2 days in a week. You know, it's a,
Yeah.
it's like a what I say, man. It is really hard to achieve a level, but then when you achieve a level, it is really easy to maintain that. It depends on your consistency and some principles applied to it.
Sure. So how does that look like when you today, let's say you break your fast in the evening or whenever, what it's going to be?
So I'm gonna break my fast at the end of the afternoon. It should be at least 3 to 5 hours prior to sleep. That's what I try to do, of course, and that's going to be like a lot of protein, uh, fibers as well. So it's like an orchestra,
Can you give an
but
example?
the
Like what
yeah,
protein sources?
yeah. For example, I can break my fast with a wild salmon, wild caught salmon, for example, and then I will eat a salad maybe, and then I will eat everything that I want.
Okay.
But the first bite, the first part of the meal, the feast will be amazing. It's like giving the best for the king, you know, and then the king can do whatever he wants. The,
Got it.
the best absorption part is only to finalize and give to your body the best that you can give, and then it is okay. You can auto-regulate. The body auto-regulates everything, what it needs or not.
Okay. Okay.
I started doing this because I wanted to overeat. You know, let me give you an example. Like uh, doing diet. I did diet for 10 years, I think. I used to eat like 7 solid meals a day and two shakes, for example. There'll be 9 times. So I was waking up and going to sleep, eating.
Mm.
So I remember, like in my car, having uh, not a snack, but lunch or anything else. It was everything counted for. So I love it. It was pretty nice. I don't have a problem doing diet. But nowadays, uh, like I was saying, I started doing this fasting thing because I was studying for it,
Mm.
studying for the benefits, for the cognition benefits,
Mm. Mm.
for longevity as well, and to feel more focus, have a mind clarity.
Got it.
And looking to that, I said, all right, because I was totally against fasting, you know, uh, the regulation of hormones. I was studying it by, and I thought, okay, it looks good. I think I can do this. The scientific studies are showing some good things. So yeah, I thought, why not? Let's try it. And the thing is,
And
the truth.
it makes it easier. There I agree. You don't need to think about what should I have for lunch, or oh, is my meal already due, right? Do I need to go to the fridge and heat up a meal? It's just like one meal. It's super simple. That's where I agree.
It is super simple. So I like to do my own meal. Even if I I have bad things to eat, the first stop, the first bite, the first uh, moment of the meal will be clean.
Mm.
Always,
Mm.
I'll be clean, and then I can do whatever I want. So you need to finalize. Finalize mitochondria, finalize your body, give it. You have imagine you have an extreme absorption when you're doing fasting. So you gotta think about that. If you're gonna eat French fries, you break fast with a French fries, for example, that will be so deleterious. You're not gonna be feel good. You know, it's like I'm sorry, but sorry guys who likes to eat French fries, but it is almost like giving away weeks, months of life, you know? Yeah. Too much oxidative stress and omega-6, it is not good. So we've got to think about the principles. So I started doing fasting to, you know, overeat and stay lean. And I tested and I couldn't break my shape. It was like, shit, this is really good. So I can overeat, really overeat, I mean, and I can stay lean.
Mm.
And I have a really good cognition and, you know, performance during the day because I was metabolic flexible, you know.
Mm.
When you achieve
How long have you been
metabolic
doing this?
flexibility, now I think it's 4 years.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Did you have like when you went from eating 6 or 7 or 9 meals a day to one?
I'm sorry. It's 5 or 6 years.
Okay, already.
For this,
So
yeah.
when you did the switch, what did you experience? Wasn't it super weird? Like out of a sudden, did you have like cravings, very hungry? What happened when you did the switch?
I mean, always in my life, I did fasted cardio or some activity doing part fasted. So I was already metabolic flexible, you know? You gotta have the flexibility. And nowadays, 70% of Americans doesn't have metabolic flexibility because of two things, or they're overweight, or they're just simple have the habit of eating all of the time. If you eat all of the time, you can only use glucose. And if you're flexible, it's like you can switch in a dime glucose to fats. And that will give you a protection from hypoglycemia. Do you see? It is very interesting. And it's a paradox.
Interesting.
You know?
Interesting. I didn't know. I
How
didn't
can
know
you
that you were
think?
doing this.
Yeah. How can you imagine like a fat guy, okay? Imagine an overweight guy, obese, like he's eating the first thing in the day to, you know, the time he's going to bed. And he doesn't have energy disposition. So he's acquire energy from the food, but he cannot use it, you know? And while you're fasting and you have metabolic flexibility, you're not eating anything and you have amazing energy disposition. And that's because you have your body working for you, you know, not against you.
Not
You
against you.
imagine
Makes sense.
in the ancestral way, like think about our ancestors. You're going to hunt, right? You're not going to get food every day. So it's normal not to eat. So imagine this. You went to hunt and you didn't catch anything. So you're going to sleep. And in the next day, are you going to feel hungry? Okay, normal. But are you feeling hypoglycemia? Are you feeling like tired? Like, oh, I'm dying. Yeah. The thing is, your body will give you the energy to focus, to adapt, to be more, you know, you have more catecholamines like dopamine, like norepinephrine. So you'll be like ready to hunt. It's the contrary what we think. You're going to be motivated to do whatever you can to survive. So this is the brilliantism of fasting, you know. It will give you the tools. It will give you growth hormone up. It will give you more dopamine, norepinephrine. So these tools you can canalize to do whatever you want, to study, to train, and of course, you need to eat. You need to give everything you
Mm,
need.
mm,
So it's an ongoing study how much you need to eat. I have some numbers like minimum for me,
yeah,
like my practice.
yeah.
I do not recommend anybody to do one meal a day because it's really
Why
hard
not? Why
to
not?
get to get an isocaloric diet. You have to eat like me a lot. So it's a lot to eat. It's a lot to process.
So you
It's
think most
easier.
people cannot manage like this one huge meal?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not a practical thing. It will be more practical doing like 18 to 20 hours of fasting, and that will be fine because anybody can manage like to eat two big meals will be fine. Two or
Uh,
three big
I
meals will be fine for everybody.
True, true. When we look at the studies, like we have some recommendations what protein intake is concerned, like 1.5, 2 grams per kilogram of body weight. Do you track your meals? Do you make sure that you have like plenty of proteins, or how do you do that?
Yeah. Protein is absolutely important. I do track and I do have a minimum, you
What is
know?
your minimum, if I may ask?
Yeah, you can think it's 0.2,
Okay.
you know, two per 2 grams per kilo, you
Yeah.
know,
Okay.
if you can. But, the special thing about protein is you don't need to, there is a controversy in the medical community about eating, red meat, too much protein,
Mm,
and everything. But it's easier for us that have a more body mass. We are used to a little bit more.
yeah.
So what you need to think about is where that protein comes from and how is your microbiome, you know? Because eating a lot of red meat like I do, of course, you need to think about TMIO, So if you have the right microbiome, if you have taken like allicin, garlic extract, probably you're not going to have any problems. So you need to think about these things. And nutrition is one of the most misconceptions that we have in the modern days. If you talked about anything to like nutritionists, they probably were going to diverge between themselves
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
any subject.
Absolutely.
Do you agree?
I agree. I agree. And the more you research and you find this and that, and you don't know what is right, um, who to believe to, dude. It's when you speak, it's so easy to say that you're a student of medicine. It's so easy to tell, and like my brain is trying to follow, trying to follow. What inspired you to study this area?
Well, all my life, I have been, working with many doctors to understand my own body, to, elevate my own self, like to understand me and understanding what's happening and helping like my friends, my family. So I did that along the years. And not only that, but I was studying uh, for myself to improve and everything. So I did that all my life. And simply like fitness, it was just a hobby. Uh, this part of my life was just a hobby as well. But it turned to be um, to achieve, a level that anybody could tell you and would say like, man, you have to compete, or man, you have to
I mean, yeah,
attend. I want to, yeah.
you're like I mean world class physique, and feel free to say as well that you're currently filming a movie about fitness, about health.
Yeah.
Generation Iron. I mean, that's huge. Like, and I know all these movies,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's huge. So congrats on that.
It's thank you, thank you. It's an amazing thing going on. When I was a kid, I was looking to those movies, Generation Iron, like Arnold and Kai Green, and I was really inspired by them. And I was like saying, man, if I got to a level that on the top, and the top players in the world, one thing that I need to do is record something with these guys from Generation. So it was like a dream from my from kid
From childhood.
that
Amazing.
it's happening. Yeah, from childhood, and as it's really happening. We are
It's
filming
pretty
now,
amazing.
and it is crazy. They are finishing up with Chris Bumstead, I think this month has yet, and we are shooting here for that next one. Yeah.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Coming back to your studies, do you want to become like a doctor and then have your own clinic? Is that a goal of yours?
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have many plans because in the medical, um, in the academy, like in medical school, I am the president of some leagues, academic leagues. So I'm president of plastic surgery,
Okay.
endocrinologist, to medical sports, and entrepreneur in innovation and medicine as well. So four. And why? Why? Isn't it too much to do? I mean, yeah, but I'm trying to bring new things to everybody.
Mm,
That's the goal, to
mm,
update everybody,
mm.
because the data in what I study is really updated, with the top guys in the world. And what you have in medical school is the basics, not that the basics are important, they are crucial, but
Mm.
bringing new stuff and going deeper is what motivates me, and that's what makes me different. So
That's.
I'm using the leagues.
uh, I
I'm
need to
using the
stop you there
leagues to do
because
that.
I need to say, like, until now I had this image of you as like the guy in top, absolutely top physical shape, like since like forever, since I've started following you, always top shape. Um, and I see you doing your cardio and your workout and everything, but now you're telling me you're not only like a top and a top performer here in sports and fitness, but also in your studies, right? This is pretty crazy.
That's it. And I'm pretty sure I am the in my whole university. I'm the guy who is doing more events, uh, symposiums, presential, with big guys like in the industry, like icons from the medical community. Uh, so I'm I'm doing that because that is my life now. I'm deep in the medical school, in the academic level, and that's what I'm doing. And what I need to say is my lifestyle, it is to be like this always, that won't matter if I'm doing like only my business, like all their business, or if I'm in medical school, I'm going to organize everything to do the most that I can, So it is 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day, Monday to Friday. And of course, there are little breaks in. I have my lunchtime that I can train, but we didn't talk about training, right? I need to train. I need 20 minutes to train. That's all. The cardio that I
20
do
minutes.
is just for my mind.
Okay. How
20
often
minutes
for your strength training, resistance training, or for the cardio?
for strength training.
Okay. So how does that look like?
it looks like going to battle, you know, with everything you got. I usually do like at least 12 exercises to 20, like mostly 14 to 16, 4 times each with a really giant set. That can vary, of course, with how can we say, the same weight that you will do your challenge with just one exercise. So I have for example, like 70 pounds doing a, how do you say this? Crucifix?
Cable
Is that
fly.
right? Fly?
Cable fly. Yeah.
No, not cable, like
Or
with
the pec
with
decks.
the dumbbell. You know?
Oh, the dumbbell chest flies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll use this, for example, inclining with 75 pounds of fly. Then I will continue 10, 10, and then I'll go to another exercise and on.
And just
you know,
for
just
one
for you to
muscle
understand
part,
that,
or do you go from like chest to back to legs?
yeah, this style of training, nowadays, what I like to do, I like to focus in one muscle or two, maybe main muscles for the day, but I will train everything, you know,
Okay.
back, chest,
Every day.
You know, everything. But I just not gonna train arms, you know,
Because they're big
I
enough.
have, yeah, they have a, I don't know, the genetics. I used to think about the composition, you know, so I don't do this that often. I mean, not often at all. I just don't train arms because for the proportion, you know.
So that means
So
if
it
you
gets
have
secondary.
just to have the right picture, if you do like chest, if you're focused in chest, then you do maybe 5 exercises for chest and the rest for the other body parts.
Yeah, I'll be doing like minimum 5, but it probably be 6 or 7.
Okay.
For chest, and the rest will be from the other parts.
That's interesting. Sure. Well, like, where did you pick that up?
Well, nowhere.
Nowhere.
It's just something that I realized it could work, you know. So 6 to 8 exercises for the main one. 8 probably what's going to happen, and the rest will be to, you know, the rest part.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
While you're resting, you can rest this body part, and you will have
work
like
another one.
Why, you know what, because I have at least I know that I have metabolic flexibility. That means that I can work with many fuels, you know. So creatine, phosphatase, glycogen, and fats and ketones. So it's a lot of things. So I have a more steady energy. If I just stop working a muscle and go to another one, I can easily come back to that muscle and I'll be full of charge. You know what I mean? So, and of course, it is a cardiovascular exercise as well. So I have a good input for my heart. Okay. Different from an approach that will be like stopping by, get everything together again, then go with everything you got, you know. It is good for the heart as well.
Do we still see muscle growth with this training?
I do.
You do?
I do. Yeah, that will depend. And my goal, I can easily like get you know, updated. Like I need to lose a little bit. All right, that will be fine. I need to win a little bit. Yeah, and you know, I did put like 9 kilos like 2 years ago in almost like a month, doing 20-hour fast. So it's possible to gain a lot of weight, and I was ripped as well. There was a tryout. I wanted to prove to myself that I could put weight I mean, muscle mass,
No,
and not lose the quality
got it.
and continue that, you know.
Got it.
So that was a tryout. I mean, it's not the best approach because it's hard and you have to understand many variables. But
So
if you're
who does
doing
your
like,
training? Do you work with a coach or do you
huh?
everything yourself?
I do myself
Okay.
nowadays. Yeah,
Okay.
I do.
Interesting.
So I
Very
think
interesting approach you have there.
it is interesting because in fitness you have to think about having uh, metabolic shocks. So you need to think about heat contraction. You need to think about eccentric mode,
Yep.
like how many seconds they are doing. You need to do the full movement, range of motion. You can do super slow. You can do slow. You can stop in a peak contraction. You know, there are many things you can apply to achieve another goal. You know,
Yeah.
but the main thing is we gotta change everything once in a while. You know,
Yep.
but I just found something that I can easily change a little bit and I can continue growing, you know, continue improving like
Yeah.
quality,
Yeah.
like controlling like with the diet, my weight. I'm trying to get a little smaller,
Yeah.
you know,
Why is that?
because I found that for most of the people, the women for sure, it is more it
Appealing.
has a better proportion,
Okay.
more appealing for everyone, you know, not for, you know, the bodybuilding community or for the bros,
Mm.
you know,
Mm.
but, you know, for the woman look, for anyone's look, because I'm selling, I'm showing healthy, I'm showing high performance and a lifestyle that is totally doable, you know, everybody can do this. Once you get in the level, it's easier and it comes to be more easier along the time. I don't know. I always feel like this, you know.
Yeah. I want to
Since
dive
you
into
get,
that. I want to dive into that. You say like the healthy lifestyle is doable for everyone, and I agree. If someone comes to you and says, Italo, I want a body like yours, uh, what do you tell them? Like, is it even achievable? And what is the first advice you would give him?
I think, like anything in life, anything in business, you have to understand what is a doable goal and to have priorities, you know, strategy, and to know that you're gonna go to achieve many levels. And you have to have your head right to maintain like for that big level,
Yep.
smaller ones, you know, and even for the day.
Yep.
So that with consistency will take you there. But it is totally achievable. You can be in your top shape of your life. You can totally change your body in 3 months. Everybody
Absolutely.
can do that.
I agree. I agree.
In 3 months, anybody, anyone can look to a picture and say, I don't believe I was like this,
Yeah,
you know?
I agree.
And and that's amazing, you know? That's totally doable, you know? So inspiring is always great,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
we have to maintain the real thing and to go to the levels.
How important is genetics in all of this, in your opinion?
I'm sorry?
How important is genetics in your opinion?
Oh, genetics. That's a really nice topic. Uh,
I think you're some
you
kind.
know,
I saw on your Instagram. You're like epigenetics or some kind of, I don't know, something you study.
yeah, let me explain that to you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have no
of
idea.
course. You know, uh, what I mean is genetics are important. We need to think about what is the best approach to us, you know. And some people have a little bit of difficulty going from, maybe fat, maybe it's easily with fats, just an example. Like, how do you methylate some drugs? How is your coffee going in and out? So if you analyze like the panel, genetic panel, or you can just feel yourself. But nowadays we can do a genetic test. I have sequenced my whole genome, and I can study to, get I already know a lot about myself, but it's always interesting to take a look at the most updated research in some variables of genes.
But I mean, you cannot change it anyway. How does it
No,
help you?
I will get there.
Okay.
Just it is very important to know the blueprint. But if for example, even if you have more risk to Alzheimer, for example, if you do the right thing, you're not gonna get it. You can totally go to use the epigenetics. What is epigenetics? It's the expression, the gene expression. So if you have a bad gene, you can overcome that gene. Like, let's do these things.
With lifestyle
so you're not going to be
changes
activated.
Okay.
Yeah, lifestyle changes are the top one, and then you can think about some stacks and everything. But you can silence bad stuff and you activate good stuff. So, for example, I have alopecia. I should be bald. My dad is bald. My 4 brothers are bald. My 2 uncles are bald, and I'm not. In my genetic test, I have alopecia. That doesn't mean I will be bald, but it's if I don't make some moves, don't think about that, probably I'm going to be. But that's not my destiny.
What actions have you taken to not get bald?
You can totally change what is most likely to you if you want, So I have taken for all my life some phytotherapics, to have a good idea, good hair. Okay. I've trained since I was 17, 18 years old. I'm 35, so a long way now. I have always having a good nutrition and so on, So lifestyle changes, some stacks that will help. That can make a difference.
It's like creams and stuff you put on, or
yeah. I don't not take minoxidil, for example.
Okay.
I have another things that I can say, like in the documentary or in Instagram later. But it's some good tools, some things that I discovered along the way to use for a purpose, and it works. I can prove it.
Okay. What's your thoughts, since we're speaking about creams and medicine? What is your thoughts on performance enhancing drugs?
Okay, depending on what kind of performance enhancing drugs are you want me to talk about?
Yeah, when we speak about fitness, especially bodybuilding, we know there's like a lot of steroids, there's a lot of testosterone.
Yeah.
Your thoughts? Is it needed to shape a great body?
It is not. Let me tell you my experience a while ago. When I have, I think, 17 years, I was drinking a lot, and I didn't have a good shape. I was too thin, And I have a friend that was younger than me. I was already in the university, and I was like, "The hell, man! You're younger, and you look like bigger." And you're doing well. Like, man, I need to do that
Mm.
as well, to get the girls and everything. And I was like, what the hell are you doing? He told me, I am having like hormones with the doctor. And I told him, all right, give me the number. I want that too, you know? So I did make a lot of exams about everything. It was like a pile like this. And I went to the doctor and I told him, everything is good. I came here like my friend, like my other friends, to have some good stuff, you know? And he looked at me and said, no, I'm not going to give it to you. I'm going to show you how it's done without it. And I was shocked because I was paying a lot of money. And I just wanted that. I wanted to understand, like, I just wanted to achieve like results
Mm.
with less time. That's
Mm.
all. And he
Mm.
said, man, believe me, believe in what I'm saying. You will do whatever I want, whatever I tell you, it will be more, or it will change your life to better. And if you want to use later in life, you'll have a better result.
Yeah. Basics
So I
first.
said, yeah, basics first. Like, okay. And I told him, do I have a choice? Let's do it. And then I changed my life to better. Like from that point on, I stopped drinking. I did diet as strict, like he told me. Like it was a lot of supplements, a lot of prescribed natural things,
Mm.
training, everything. So I did change everything, and it was a blast. I won like 13 kilos the first month. I broke his record.
Crazy.
The second month, yeah, the second month, I won like 7 kilos, and the other one 3. So I like, bah, it was
I want
it
your
was like
genetics then.
crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So you're talking to a guy that never did anything before, but he started doing everything with the most, you know, uh, passion
Mm.
and discipline.
Mm.
So the results were amazing, and
Mm.
I was like thrilled. So everybody was saying you had that thing, but there was a compliment for me, because
Obviously.
I didn't use it, and I did understand the true meaning of effort,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
There's like
you
a
cannot
shortcut, right?
you cannot buy in any instance, yeah, that effort,
Yeah, I agree.
that consistency.
100%.
And then I never stopped. I never stopped. So I continue going and changing the diet, and I I was improving all the time. So it was amazing. I didn't need to
Mm.
do anything else because I was in progress.
Mm.
When it's still in progress, and then I wanted to cut, and then I cut it. So and then we did it again. We didn't stop. I didn't have vacation for training, I didn't have those things. Uh, I have I have given myself like consistency from that time to
Consistency over
today.
time. That's
I
the key. I agree. Yeah. Was there ever
just
a time when you said, okay, you don't grow anymore, you don't get any better to the next level, and then you said, okay, now it's time to use them?
no. We
No?
always stop in some level, but we always change it. The style of training, the diet, the approach, and it was always something to do more, because when you get like 20 kilos up, you're too much. You want to get a little bit lean, so it changes, So it's another concept, and you can always think about anything later if you want to, But for me, it was an amazing lesson, and
Mm.
I was going to 3 or 4 doctors, different guys, but I was only listening to one that was like my mentor at the time. But to talk and to understand different paths, and what they think, and it was really good for me. Uh, I have many doctors, many friends in the area since I was like that age, so a lot of time, and I'm still going, like just to go out with them,
Nice.
nowadays. So
Awesome.
it's a blast.
Awesome. Maybe we need to explain why you do all of that. I mean, this crazy discipline and the work ethic and diet and training and just like 100% commitment. I mean, you're here to make a change, to make an impact, right? You've done like your
Yeah.
competitions. You were on stage, crazy lean, crazy shredded. How many years has it been? It was recently? No, I think
Not recently.
not recently. Okay.
I stopped, I think, in 19.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Long time
yeah.
ago, but absolutely crazy. And then you're still active as fitness model, do shoots for like brands and probably also for your own brand, right? For others. Could you could probably make a living of fitness modeling, I guess,
Oh, definitely.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But I think we need a purpose in here, and I'm trying, like today, I can say, as a biohacker, to understand and to synthesize what is best for me and what I understand for anybody, to include in lifestyle, to have a better result in life with less time, with less effort, you can say. Not effort itself, I mean with less time, to get everything optimized. And
Like doing
that can
podcasts and
make
sitting on a stationary bike. That's like also optimized.
like that, yes, for sure. So it's a blast, and I think this is I'm looking to the goal, like to help people, so that's why I'm in really soon going to be a doctor, and I will continue the study. I will continue to attend, and I want to make a difference for anybody's lives, and I want to show that it's possible. It's totally doable, have a wine, have a good social life, and have a good physique. You can do it all. You can have a performance in everything in life, and work and studying, and that's possible.
That's super inspiring, because if I looked at you and didn't know you, and probably people looked at you the first time, they would probably say he's in the gym like 6 hours a day. He has no social life. He meal preps all his meal, like 10 meals a day. Never goes out. But it's not the case here. So that's super cool.
Yeah, my friend.
Yeah.
That's the point in the movie as well, to show that's possible, and it will be out soon. I think in 9 months or what year, I don't know.
I'm gonna watch
Let's
it
see.
for sure. I'm gonna watch it, dude. I think we're gonna wrap it here. Yeah, let's wrap it up. It's like almost an hour.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah, tell us where can people find you, like on social media? Where are you most active? I think it's Instagram.
It's an Instagram for sure.
The name is
You can
like
find me as Italo Costa or Panache.
what does that mean?
BR.
Panache is beer.
Well, Panache. No. It is not. It's a true adjective, It means like when you inspire by seeing something
Okay.
that you think is cool,
Okay.
That is panache. Like,
Panache.
yeah, really.
Cool. I didn't know that. Awesome, dude. Thanks a lot for your time. Thanks for doing this with me. Whoever tunes in here and listens to this podcast, again, Italo Costa on Instagram and Banash BR, right?
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Let me just make a
Sure.
picture here. So yeah, that's it, my friend. Thank you. We'll do more about any subject that you want. All right.
And dude, it's like keep it up. Super inspiring. I learned a lot in this podcast. Like my mind needs a rest now, to be honest. Like it was a lot of information, a lot of unexpected information. One would think you just do, oh, this is my split here, chest and back day, leg day, diet, 10 meals a day, but it's completely different
You
to what I
know,
expected.
we can make a podcast just about training. You can be sure about it. We can, totally, because it's an amazing subject and we have amazing different variables so we can talk about. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome, dude. Thanks a lot. All the best to you and have a great day. Talk to you soon. All right.
Thank you. You too. Bye bye.
It's a good day. Bye bye.